Some places are not lost. They are hidden, waiting for those foolish enough to find them. This old saying has been passed down by sailors for centuries. It means not every place on the map is meant to be reached. Some lands aren't just remote. They're protected by secrets, curses, and something older than time itself. And this is the story of 4 friends who refused to believe in warnings. On a foggy morning, somewhere off the coast of Maine, North America, a small wooden boat rocked gently against the gray waters. Inside it were 4 friends: John, adventurous and reckless; Sarah, careful but easily convinced; Sophie, curious and eager to prove the supernatural; and Lena Carter, bold and outspoken, the natural leader. They had heard about an island, a place the locals only spoke of in whispers. "They say people who go there never return," Sarah murmured nervously. "Exactly why we're going," John grinned. "It's just stories." "We'll prove them wrong." The boat driver, an old fisherman with a face worn by years at sea, gave them a sharp look. "Don't do this," he warned. "That island, it hunts, it moves. If you step on its soil, it'll mark you. I swear, this will be the biggest mistake of your life." But the friends only laughed. Their task sounded simple: cross the island from one side to the other. Another boat waited at the far end. All they needed was the map, their compass, and the courage to walk through the jungle. As the mist cleared, black cliffs rose out of the water. A broken lighthouse stood tall at the highest point, its glass shattered, yet its beacon still flickered faintly in the fog. The fisherman stopped his boat. "You walk from here," he said, voice low, "and pray the island lets you leave." The friends climbed onto the rocks, unaware the sea behind them was already pulling away into silence. Deeper in the jungle, they stopped. Half buried in the soil were rows of stone markers, all facing the sea. Sarah's voice shook. "These are graves." John forced a laugh. "Just old rocks." But Sophie brushed dirt away. The carvings were names, hundreds of them, worn by time. Then Lena froze. One stone stood apart. The letters were sharp, freshly carved. It was her full name, Lena Carter. The air turned heavy. The forest seemed to lean closer, listening. No one spoke again. They walked faster, their footsteps echoing against the silence. Hours later, they reached the cliffs where the lighthouse stood like a broken finger against the sky. Its beacon still glowed faintly. Inside, the air smelled of salt and damp stone. A dusty journal lay on the floor. Sarah picked it up and read slowly. "The sea speaks to me. It says, I must never leave. The light is not for ships, it is for them, to keep them away. But the voice grows stronger. Soon I will answer it, and when I do, I will not return." The last page was smudged with water, the ink bleeding like veins across the paper. Suddenly the lamp above them flared bright, flooding the room with blinding light. "Let's go," Lena said, pulling them out. But when they stepped back into the mist, the jungle was no longer the same. The island had changed. By nightfall, they stumbled into a wide clearing, and there, impossibly, stood a large hotel. Its windows glowed warmly, its doors open as if waiting for them. "That wasn't on the map," Sophie whispered. Inside, the lobby was elegant, carpets clean, lights shining, music played softly in the air. At the reception desk sat a logbook. Page after page of names were written down. Everyone crossed out in red, except one. John's name, written clearly, waiting for him to sign. His hand shook. He backed away. Then Sarah looked into the tall lobby mirror. Her blood ran cold. The reflection didn't show a grand hotel. It showed ruins, windows broken, walls burned, chains hanging from the ceiling. And behind them, dozens of figures stood still, hollow-eyed, staring. The friends bolted before the mirror figures could move. The forest grew darker. Roots twisted around their feet. Branches tore at their clothes. Then came the sound. Scratching, clicking. From the shadows crawled giant spiders, their legs as long as tree branches, eyes glowing in the dark. The friends fought, swinging sticks and knives, but one spider sank its fangs deep into Sophie's leg. She screamed. Her veins darkened. The poison spread too fast. By dawn, Sophie was gone. The others buried her beneath a stone marker, another grave facing the sea. Now, only 3 remained. They climbed the mountain ridge, the compass shaking in Sarah's hands. At the top, the mist thickened. Shadows moved within it. From the fog stepped a pack of wolves. But they weren't ordinary. They stood on 2 legs, twisted and half-human, guardians of the island. The friends fought, but the beasts were too strong. 2 grabbed John and dragged him to the cliff's edge. "John!" Lena screamed. He struggled, but the wolves hurled him into the abyss. His scream echoed, then vanished into silence. Only Lena and Sarah remained. Weak, trembling, they stumbled toward the shore. Through the fog, they saw it, the boat waiting for them. Hope sparked in their chest, but Sarah froze. Her eyes dropped to the sand. There, freshly carved into the ground, was her full name, Sarah Miller. Her lips trembled. "It's me." Before Lena could reach her, Sarah's body stiffened. She gasped once and collapsed, lifeless. The waves roared and dragged Sarah into the fog. Lena stood alone, shaking, as the island around her seemed to breathe. The lighthouse flared. The graves whispered. The ground itself rumbled with one terrible voice. "We are the island. You are the warning days." Later, Lena Carter was found drifting near the coast of Maine. Her eyes were hollow, her voice broken. She told her story of the island that no map could hold. No one believed her. They said the others drowned. They said she imagined it all. But at night, Lena still hears it. The waves whispering across the sea. You were left behind to tell the story, so no one else dares test us. We are the island.